What's up everybody, welcome to your third Photoshop project. And in this project we're going to be creating a nice planet and space looking photo. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we're in our background layer and go ahead into the black foreground color and grab your paint bucket tool. Now go ahead and paint your background black. This is going to give you a nice space looking background. Now aside from this, right on your background layer, go up to Filter, Noise, Add Noise, and make sure you're on Gaussian and monochromatic and not uniform. What this does right here, the noise, is add an amount of white speckles to your photo. Go ahead and click somewhere between 9 and 11, then go ahead and click OK. What this is going to do is add a variation of white speckles and give you the nice starry looking look. So now that you have space with some stars in it, go ahead and create a new layer, and this is going to be our planet. So to do that, go ahead up to the elliptical marquee tool, and you can go ahead and make the shape of your planet. Now note, if you just go ahead and start dragging, you can make ovals with your mouse, and you don't want to do that. What you want to do is hold down the shift key, and this is going to make sure that you can create a perfect circle. So once you do that, create a perfect circle, and this is going to be the shape of your planet. Let me go ahead and close that. Now once you have the shape of your planet, go ahead back to your paint bucket tool and fill in your entire planet black. Now this is going to be the outline of your planet, and I'll tell you why we do this later. The next thing we want to do is paint the texture and color on our planet. So go ahead and select the brush tool. Make sure you're on a nice fading. As you can see, you don't want this hard edge right here. You want a nice fading edge. I'm going to use about 300. And go ahead and click the color you want. As you can see, I'm going with a nice like a light tan color, just because I think it will look good, like as a planet. And the last thing that you're going to want to do is go up to this brush settings, and you're going to want to choose a texture. Make sure that none of these are checked besides texture, and you're going to want to make it overlay and get a nice rock texture. So here's a nice rock texture right here. As you can see, you have a bunch preset, but I'm going to choose the rock one. And make sure you're on about anywhere from 60 to 70 scale, and make sure you're in overlay. So once you have that, you can start painting. As you can see, when you paint, it gives you a nice planet outline. Now I'm going to paint heavier in my top left side than my bottom right side, because I want to give it the effect that it's kind of a light source is coming from here, and it's kind of shaded down there, kind of like the planet Earth does, or any planet for that matter, come to think of it. Alright, so once you have that, you can go ahead and we can start adding a glow around our planet. So to do that, let me get rid of this. Go up to Layer, and make sure you're on Layer 1 instead of Background. Now, layer style and blend options. Now, we're going to be working with outer glow and inner glow. Now, for our outer glow, make sure we have it checked and go ahead and click this. What this is going to do is allow you to pick the colors for your outer glow. I want mine to be a nice blue, like that, a nice light blue. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. As you can see, I have blue on this side, white on this side, and click these little tools right here to change the color. So go ahead and click OK. And I want my spread 0, and I want my size to be I'm gonna have mine about 20 right there, and opacity about 60. And as you can see, we now have a nice blue glow around our planet. And for our inner glow, usually you just want to leave this at default. Set your opacity to 75 and set your size to about 10. This is going to give you a nice glowing ring on the inside of your planet. So once you have that, click OK. And as you can see, now we have a nice glowing planet. Now we can either leave it from there. Let me move this more to the center. Now as you can see, we can either leave that, but I want to do a little something extra. So usually what I do is go to my background and go to Filter, Render, Lighting Effect. Now I usually like to add a spotlight from the top left, since remember we shaded in the bottom right to give it that little shadow effect. Well, I like to add a spotlight so it looks like the light's coming from the top left. Now make sure your intensity is full, and the focus is the one that you can kind of play around with. I like mine kind of wide. I'm going to leave mine at intensity 100, focus 78. Don't worry about any of these. Now click OK. And as you can see, we now have a nice lighting effect. It looks like there's some light source coming from the top left. And if you want to do something even extra, go up to Filter, Render, Lens Flare, and you can add these cool star-looking lens flares. The 105mm prime is probably the best one for the sun, or the main lighting effect. So go ahead and add that in the top left, and I'm going to make mine about 115 brightness. Now go ahead and click OK. Now as you can see, we have a star, light source, and planet. And I'm just going to go ahead and add Filter, Render, Lens Flare. I'm going to go ahead and add a 50mm, right about there. And this is just for a background, sorry, just because it looks cool. So now, as you see, we now have a full scale planet effect. So thank you for watching my Photoshop tutorial, and I hope you learned something. And there you can see the image overall. And make sure that you're watching these tutorials in high def. It'll make a world of difference. So again, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.